Alright, alright. What's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, going to be taking a look at XRP, Ripple, against USDT. Going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be looking at some of the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Are you bullish on price action? Do you think we're at support? Are we likely to rally back upward, get into the dollar, multi-dollar range that we came from not too long ago? Or are you bearish on price action? Do you think where there's more downside ahead, support has yet to be found? Is XRP heading sub 50 cents, 25 cents, straight to zero? What are your thoughts on the direction of price action moving forward? Now, jumping right into it, to kind of recap price action. That has interacted with this very critical ascending trend line that we've kind of interacted with since the sort of COVID crash of March of 2020. We have price action interacting with it both as support and resistance, and so I do believe it becomes relevant again to recent price action when we have this kind of break downward on the kind of 21st of June. But I do believe a more relevant range of price action to consider is going to be between the kind of like end of November here into kind of today, where we have this very critical range of sideways, this very volatile range between I want to say 25 cents, even though we have lows all the way down to like 17 cents there, but let's say more significant support was found around kind of 25 cents. That's kind of psychological round level. We have price action rallying up from 25 cents to interact with another critical kind of range between sort of 80 cents and 72 cents. I do believe it was significant resistance, sending price action kind of back downward, causing a retracement into this kind of volatile range that was sideways that we've experienced, kind of multiple examples of price action kind of bouncing between. Resistance found around 62 cents, in addition to support around 46 cents. I do believe is going to become relevant in the kind of near future here. With this price action back in the kind of end of November, the beginning of December, though, we have price action trading kind of for a period of days up to almost a month before we had a break downward, plummeting back into this kind of volatile range toward 25 cents. Price action traded sideways, found support after a period of days as well, up to about a month as well, just after a month before we found our way back up into this upper zone of very volatile sideways and consolidation. As we can see, XRP does like to have its phases of sideways and consolidate before it kind of makes a move. And we also have examples of price action breaking both upward and downward. So XRP can kind of move in a very volatile manner in sort of either direction, kind of depending on its sort of like factors here. And so when we have price action on the kind of beginning of April there, finding its way back above that ascending trend line in between the volatile range, around 62 cents down to kind of 46 cents there, we had enough momentum to plow through all that resistance, get into those euphoric highs near kind of like the multi-dollar range there. Very aggressive pullbacks, very aggressive dips being bought, lots of volatile price action up at these ranges until the ever so pivotal 19th of May there, sending price action plummeting downward through all this very crucial potential support. Interacting with it in a more kind of bullish manner long term, I do believe we can experience sort of similar price action when we return to these levels. But we were kind of more bearish in the kind of like short term here, and we've been finding our way kind of downward sort of ever since. Price action now more recently interacting with this very crucial zone. We're finding our way falling into the 62 cents to 46 cents zone here. Very significant resistance is going to be found at 62 cents if price action the next kind of coming days does confirm that as resistance, as we do have many rejections off of it since the end of November into the middle of December, in addition to beginning of February, middle of February. That third time in February, tons of rejections off of this 62 cent level. The could send price action plummeting down toward potential support near 46 cents, where we have price action interacting with it both as support and resistance between the kind of end of February of this year, in addition to the end of March of this year as well. We have price action interacting with it from the underside as resistance, in addition to breaking it upward and coming back down to it as support. So I do believe these are going to be two very critical levels moving forward if this is the range that we are trapped in. Now, a new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the Fibba Zucchini lines of Illuminati geometry and Bugattis. We can see This new perspective come into play here, so hope for the short term here. If say there's more downside, we could reject it off of 62 cents. The 0.236 fettuccine level at 54 cents could save the day and bring us back up in the short term, give us more of a fighting chance against 62 cents there. Now that would be, say we bottom out at 54 cents, that would be a rather bullish in the kind of short term, in my opinion, sort of higher low relative to the 22nd and 23rd of sort of June there of this year, where we have price action reaching down to like sort of 50 cents, a psychological kind of round level. Say we bottom out at 54 cents, we could suspect some more kind of short-term upside. Say we plow through 62 cents, we're going to have a lot of overhead resistance in our way before we can get to the euphoric, dollar plus kind of levels that we just kind of came from. Although we can, we have an example of price action at the beginning of April of this year, plowing through all that resistance kind of thing, but we interacted with it all along the way down. We could very well say we had the momentum to break 62 cents. We could, technically, it is not impossible to have a kind of very volatile break upward, similar to that price action at the beginning of April there. And so lots of factors coming into play here. EngineeringRobo still bearish at the moment against USDT. Price action below this 200 daily moving average. We had a rejection off of it at the kind of end of June of this year. Price action was correlating with resistance, I do believe, around 72 cents, all the way up to the underside of this 0.382 Fibonacci level to 81 cents. It's going to be a significant, almost 10-cent range there. That price action is likely to experience some rejections off of. So lots of factors coming into play here. A lot of technically bearish indicators at the moment, causing perhaps this increased sell pressure and perhaps downside and sideways. Also, we have some fundamental buy pressure present still, as I do believe the demand for XRP is still present at the moment. 50 cents seems to be a psychological round level. Will we get saved by the 0.236? New perspective comes into play when we consider XRP against Bitcoin. Price action bouncing between a pivotal range of, between resistance around 2266 Satoshi in addition to support around 1530 Satoshi. Price action currently very, very sideways, a tad bullish in my opinion against the price of Bitcoin. We're holding kind of sideways against the volatility that is Bitcoin at the moment. Although we could have a break upward or downward here kind of very soon. Now, new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo. In addition to the Fibba Illuminati levels, we can see price action looking a tad more bullish, in my opinion, against the price of Bitcoin. We do experience kind of resistance present at the kind of 2011 Satoshi level there. That 0.618 Fibonacci level is going to give us a hard time moving forward. I do believe that could be significant enough to send us down to the 200 daily moving average, which would be very bullish support in the long term if we were to find kind of a bottom near there. I do have a support line near 1528 Satoshi, in addition to the 0.786 Fibonacci level just below that at 1401. So we do have plenty of support kind of down here. Say we are bearish enough to get to these levels. We do have EngineeringRobo bearish against price action against Bitcoin here. So we could have some more perhaps downside or sideways kind of in the short term. Although price action above that 200 daily moving average is still going to be bullish in the long term, and that does still give us hope that there is buy pressure present. So lots going on with XRP against Bitcoin. Lots of high technical sell pressure and also fundamental buy pressure present, causing some very volatile price action in both directions. When we consider Bitcoin against USDT, we can see this new perspective come into play here. We have price action opening below this $32,000 support level, which was one support, perhaps could be resistance level here. If that is confirmed as resistance, I do believe that is going to send price action plummeting toward the very significant 30K psychological kind of round level, just above the kind of like all the 20Ks there. Hidden within the high 20s is a 0.382 Fibonacci level at 27,111, which could be a potential target that we come down to if 32K is confirmed as significant resistance, which I do believe this level is going to be very significant moving forward, as we've been trying to hold it for the kind of past couple of months, but finding our way below it and having candles, the more daily candles open and close below it, perhaps the more confirmation as of resistance is at this level here, and that could send price action plummeting into the 20s. The 0.5 Fibonacci level at 34K was giving us a hard time kind of more recently in the kind of past few weeks here. Just slapping price action above and below. That's going to be a very tough level to get back above, I do believe, once we do find a bottom and bounce here and then just above there, waiting to slap us back down to where we came from, is the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 41,500. So lots of overhead resistance present, lots of technical kind of levels that are going to cause perhaps pullbacks along the kind of like whatever upside occurs after the bottom is found. And I do believe a bottom is approaching, as price action is still looking very bullish at these levels, even though we have EngineeringRobo still bearish. Price action below the 200 daily moving average. They were coming from some very euphoric current all-time highs, and so there's lots of reasons to be perhaps short-term bearish on the price of Bitcoin. But overall, I do believe this is quite healthy for the trend in the long term, and we could be quite a long-term bullish still with this range of sideways and downside, and more opportunities to buy in before we're 6 figures plus kind of thing. So lots going on for Bitcoin at the moment. Significant price action over the next kind of coming few days here. Once we confirm perhaps resistance at 32K, we could definitely bounce fundamentally. There's a lot of buy pressure all the way down toward $30,000. It's going to be a very significant psychological round level that I do believe there's a lot of buy pressure present at, and we could bottom out there, and that would be a rather bullish higher low relative to some kind of wicks in the last kind of couple months here. And so there's lots of fundamental buy pressure present, I do believe still, although there's some very technical reasons to be short-term bearish, and so we'll have to see kind of how 32K interacts with us over the next kind of coming days. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with a link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you bullish? Are you bearish on price action? Are you accumulating at these levels? Have you sold your whole bag? Where do you think Bitcoin is likely to go in the short term here? Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.